Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how I use um, this customer avatar sheet that we're all familiar with. This is from Ryan and them at the DM Labs. They have a pretty massive, I think a 28-page PDF that explains how to build out a customer avatar. And then what they do is they also give you this handy sheet, right, that you can actually enter information in. So I'm going to share with you how I use this, right, but in my specific process in my workflow, because I there's a lot, everybody does it in a lot of different ways, but at the end of the day, the question is going to be, okay, how do I find this information, right? In the PDF, it does a great job explaining the rationale behind each of these elements, right? But there are some gaps in terms of where to actually find the information. Now, you can make some assumptions, which is always a great place to start. I tend to try to be as systematic as possible in terms of how I think through things, right? So I'd like to get some solid, very one-to-one data to be able to plug in here. So there are places where I have to make some assumptions, but I'd like to get it from the horse's mouth to start off as a much more safer baseline for me. So that's what this is. That's why I did this, and I follow this because, well, let me back up. I created this so that I can use this easier because what I found was, there's other tools to create avatars, but I think this is the most popular one that a lot of people are familiar with. So I figured, let me just do this, carve out a process, and then share that, right? So that's what this is. This is my process on how I'm using this sheet. Now let's jump right in. So number one is I need the avatar, right? I need the avatar sheet. So I have the male customer, then I have the female customer, and that's this, right? This one, and then you have the female one. Okay, so that's done. Now, the question then goes, all right, for the demographics, the age, gender, so I have an example that's done, and I did it for a friend who's a chiropractor. But I needed to know specifically, okay, what's the demographic? Like, how do I know instead of me trying to sit down with Kevin and talk to him, like, okay, what's your average age, right? There's ways to kind of make those assumptions without spending that time and, because being on the phone and doing that discovery, he's a busy guy, right? So am I going to have time to do that with him? We're going to have to find time. So what can I do instead that's data based that I can fill in here that's also not assumptions? So this is what I did. I'll go here, demographic. I go to Wikipedia for the demographic. So I'll go Wikipedia, Orinda, because he lives in Orinda. That's the area that he services. And again, I'm doing this because I'm going to be running ads and doing some marketing for him to help him out. So the location, I start. If I know the location, then let's do it, right? Bingo. Actually, no. Sorry. Because I already did. I'm not going to do it all over again. So this is what the end sheet looks like, right? And I pulled all this data from places that I found it. I didn't make any assumptions except for maybe one or two. Well, let's go through and let's see how many. So Orinda's first, then I'll go to Wikipedia, and I'll go to there, and then I go to demographics. And then I just kind of comb through, right? Reported. Now, all of these, because this is general, I'm going to make the best guess and take the general position as possible. So race or makeup is white, the most. Okay, so let's see here. White. Okay. Let's move that over. What else are we looking for? Gender. Oh yeah, well I chose female because that's what I'm working on, right, for this avatar. Children under the age of 18, 71%. All right, so let's go children, right? Yes. Here, what else? Female householder. Wait. Okay, population spread out. Oh yeah, so they have children, so I'm assuming, right, they're married. Obviously female. Children. So then this I'm just gonna randomly. That's assumption number one. Well, we assume that they're married because it said so. That they have kids. Obviously, I'm married to make kids. But then I'm just gonna randomly choose something below 18 years old. Okay, less than 18. Good. That's done with. Moving on. What else do I find here that I need? That's it for now. Population. Oh, the age, right? So the median age was 48. So then, okay, 48. Boom. Next. So that's it for there, because I've got that satisfied. Now the question is, okay, how do I get this information? All right, so then let's go to the local census. Local census, Orinda. Bay Area, city of Orinda. Cool, done. Occupation, job title, annual income, education. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Then I'll go here. Income. Median household income, 117. Median family. Okay, so that's household would be. I'm assuming it's going to be both. 117 divided by 2 because it's husband and wife, 58. So then I'm going to drop 58 in here, right? Level, college graduate. So let's go here. Education, population, 12. High school graduate, bachelor's, 48. Graduate or professional degree. So because this is more, I'm just going to assume, let's just say bachelor's degree, college graduate. Boom, right? Commutes to work. Let's see where that was from. Oh yeah, here. Worked at home. Let's see. Labor, management. So that's a lot. Employed civilian, 16 and older. I don't know what that means. Management, professional related, 5,000. So okay, let's just say management. So that's where that came. Let's say office manager. Okay, what else do I have? That's done. That's done. You'll see where that comes in later. I guess it's here. There you go, yeah. Commuting to work, yes, 30 minutes. Okay, that's another thing that's important. Okay, so that's it for that, right? So now I've got the demographics accounted for. So I need to move into these parts because this is all blank. And I've got it all filled out. Why? Because I went to the Yelp reviews. Now, what I did was, let's say if you you're a service provider and you want to fill this out for yourself, then you would look, if you have a lot of reviews and you're a dentist and you have a lot of reviews, then you can pull all that information, all this information from your reviews. Now, if you're doing this on behalf of somebody else, right? I'm doing this on behalf of Kevin, who's my chiropractor friend, and I would go and find a chiropractor in the area, right? And I'm just gonna do this as a example. But let's say I go here. Ideally, if the person I'm doing this for has a Yelp account and has a bunch of reviews, dude, use that, right? Because that's from the horse's mouth. So let's assume, let's pretend like this is my friend, and now I'm going to sort it. Highest rated, and just read, right? But I'm reading, keeping in mind goals and values, challenges and pain points, objections. Then I just go through. Awful posture despite my best efforts. My shoulders usually hunched up. I came in a couple weeks, spent time. I left walking fully upright. My shoulders, life-saving income. Turns out I have an enlarged lymph node. When the shoulders drop, it became visible. I would not have seen it until it got bigger. All right, so awful posture. Challenges, I would say awful posture here, right? Shoulders are hunched up. I would say shoulders are hunched up. So whatever you pull, whatever you read that you can pull to satisfy for these categories, that's what you do, because it's coming from the horse's mouth, right? And we keep going. Great, every time my ribs feel out of alignment, he is my immediate go-to, can't thank you. So immediate go-to, the goal is that this person values fast, right? Urgency. Let's see here. Townsend, let's get a big one. There you go. Patricia, husband and I have been going for him for years, just helped us feel good and live better. That's a value. Feel good and live better. Perfect. Both chiropractor intelligent, interventions thoughtful, one adjustment, pain is gone. Go, pain is gone. That's also a value too. But you see the idea, right? You get to carve all this out. So this is from data. This is from data with the best assumptions we can make. This is from now, right? A source. Here, however, you're going to have to be creative and use your brain, right? Based off of this information and what you generally know. So objections to the sale. You'll find that when people have, when they say something good, they'll also say it in counter to what's bad. So some people will say it was cheap, or it was fast, or it was inexpensive because insurance. So the question would be, an objection is, how much is it, right? If they say they liked it because insurance took care of it and it was inexpensive, the objection to how much it would be, it could be too expensive, right? So you get how that happens? You kind of have to backwards plan based off of what you read, and then you assume backwards. So do I have time for it? Somebody said, oh, it was great because I have a busy schedule, but he was able to accommodate for me. In less than 30 minutes, we're out, right? So that's how you do this. The role in purchase, you know, if it's a guy, then if he's an alpha, and you can kind of sense that, depending on the industry and the reviews, the majority of reviews, then that's what you would say. Her decision making would be submissive to the alpha. But in this case, based off of what I read and all the females, she was the mommy made the decisions. Cool. So that's it. You just you go to Yelp reviews. Great. Objections. You make the assumptions from Yelp. This is where it kind of gets cool though. This part, source of information. How in the world am I gonna know this stranger and what they read in the books? How do I know? Where can I get that? Right? Instead of me guessing and making assumptions, how do I know? Well, here's how, and this is what I do. I start with magazines, right? And this is why. Let me go to magazines. One, because it gives me the option, right? All these other, but if I go to Amazon, it doesn't tell me what women read. Right? It doesn't. There's no way for you to sort out what do women actually read. At least I don't know how to find it in Amazon. Blogs, yeah, you can, right? And you can do that here at all top. Right? You can just go here. All top is a aggregator for blogs. I can just go. Where's the women? What? Women, there you go. Women. And now all of these blogs are women blogs. However, there's a much more consistent manner for you to get information that's in a line to each other. So I start here with magazines. Why? Because, boom, I can see what women magazines are. Right? And then I do bestsellers, making the assumption that these are the things that sell the most, that the most majority of women like, right? And then I have to make an assumption about what I know so far of this person, right? She's a working mom, has kids, problems with her feet, she's tired with back pain, right? And she drives, so she's a hard-working mom. When she sits down to read a magazine, she's going to want to read something to get her mind off of the pain and the hard work that she did. So she kind of wants an escape to feel better, right? That ideal life. Bon appetit, probably. So these would be good, right? Working mother. Oh, awesome. Yeah, perfect, right? Better homes and garden, perfect. So this is kind of where you have to make the jump, make the assumption. So boom, you get that. Okay. Then I drop that in there. But I go to audience insights. And that's why you go to here, audience insights. You then take the one you chose, Better Homes and Garden, and then you drop it into there. Yeah, just like what I did there. Perfect. Now, the interesting part is I'm also going to blow it up, right, to all of the United States just so I have enough numbers to give me some data, because if I only do it to the location that I want to target, it's not going to be enough data, so I'm not going to get anything. And then I'm also going to have a pretty big range so that that number is in between, right? So I have, again, a big enough number so I can pull something. And then I'm going to go down here, and then I also want to do only English. Why? Because in the demographic, right, it says white and there's very few Latinos or African American. There's pretty high range or high difference in that percentage. So then I'm only going to, just so I can, because if you don't do this, then you'll see a lot of Hispanic type of interests. So I want to make it as true as possible. So now with that, I go here, Better Homes and Garden, boom, and then I'll go to author, because they don't have books. There, author, right? That would be the books. Oh, I'm sorry. Blogs, website, real. Did I do that wrong? Yeah, actually, yes, I did that wrong. I was supposed to type author here in the books. So let's say the pioneer woman, just so I can, yep. Blogs and website. That goes then here. Where's website? Personal website. Website. All recipes. All recipes. Very cool. Then I need to make sure, okay, that's 2 million. That's fine. That's fine. So websites. All recipes. Recipes. So that's done. That's done. That's done. Conferences, retail. Assuming that she doesn't go to conferences, we'll just plug that in. That probably won't be needed. But just so I can make sure I have all this filled in just to look good, it's fine. And then Martha Stewart is the guru person, so public figure, right? Right there, public figure, guru person, boom, other, and you're done. Bingo. So that's it. Now I have an avatar that's workable, but also it's the 80-20. 80% of this came from information that I was able to verify online. 20% is based off of assumptions, right? Granted, some of the assumptions are pretty massive, right, to have found some of these, but still, this is closer and it gives me some kind of structure to which I can build this out and start from, because I won't know the right target until I actually have something to test. So this here is Pamela that I'm going to test first to see if it works. But the great thing about testing is you'll get even more data that's more specific based off of what the market's demanding, right, or reacting to. So I know this is quite lengthy, but I wanted to do this to share with you how you can use this with very little guesswork, right, in a more systematic fashion to help you out. All right. God bless you and peace.